What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning channel. Sorry, everybody, for being a few minutes late. I apologize. I was out getting some coffee. And we're going to blast this out on... Let me just make sure the sound's working here. We're going to blast this out on...
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream.
All right, we're going to blast this out on Discord really quickly, and then we're going to get rolling with this test here. So for everybody who is new to the channel, what we're doing today is what we do all the time on this channel, is SAT walkthroughs, a live walkthrough. In particular, a walkthrough that I am doing in real time. Now, normally I'd be doing this for the first time, but in this case, we're doing something that is, okay, hold on, let me just say at everyone starting now. Yeah, so normally I'd be taking this absolutely blind, which is my favorite way to take it. This happens to be, however, an SAT that I really took in March, and if you saw the score reveal video, I did check it. I did get a perfect score, which was pretty cool, and now I'm taking it on the channel just to kind of show you the walkthrough, but I'm taking it as if I'm taking it for real. It has been a few weeks since I took this test, March 12th, so it's been almost a month, so I have forgotten a good amount of it, which is good, so it'll feel more like an authentic test-taking experience, but just giving you that caveat. And what most people find with these walkthroughs is that you kind of see me, because I'm not just doing it, right? I'm actually going to be explaining it within the time frame, so I'll explain it quickly, but explaining it nonetheless. Now, we are in the calculator section, so I'm going to pull up the Google calculator. I know Eunice had a really good suggestion about using a TI-84 simulator, and I am going to work on that so you can kind of see that a little bit better. So it's not just like a random calculator. I'm using what you're going to actually be able to use on the test. So thank you for that suggestion, Eunice. All right, guys. Sharia, hey. Anil, how you doing? Oh, taking in May. Good luck, Christina. Awesome. Hey, Chris is back. What's up? Zachary, Muhammad. Nice to see you guys. Abdurrahman. Sup. And you got a 740. Wow, very nice. Yes, that's very good. A 740 is excellent. Is it also US June 2020? I heard maybe. I don't know. I think June 2020 was not released, so I'm not sure. All right, my friends, let's do this. Without further ado, we're going to hit that timer and begin. I'll do my best to answer your questions, and if not, leave them in the comment section. I know the channel's been growing a lot, and it's been getting more difficult. I used to pride myself on answering every single comment, and it's just not feasible with the channel growing, plus the just other things, responsibilities in my life that have been growing as the tutoring company grows. And if you are interested in tutoring, by the way, hit us up at tutoring@scalarlearning.com. We're about to add a bunch of new hires at all sorts of different price ranges, which is amazing. I'm so excited for that. On top of that, we will be now... we also have an SAT math course. It's in the description link below. That's subscription-based. It's $15 a month, which I think is an amazing deal. We've got 4 practice tests up there with video explanations per question. So it's really targeted, plus worksheets, downloadable formula sheets, all that good stuff. So you can sign up, cancel whenever you want. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's center myself. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. It is estimated that humans begin REM sleep at 90 minutes after falling asleep. Based on this estimate, how many seconds after falling asleep do humans reach REM? So 90 minutes, we're going to convert that to seconds. So I multiply it by 1 minute to 60 seconds. Cancel, cancel. So 9 times 60 is 5,400. Boom, done. Let's just make sure that makes sense. Yeah, I don't want to go too fast. All right, number 2. Function is defined as fx 4x minus 2. What is the value of g of -3? Plug and chug, function notation. So we just replace the x in here like they did with -3. We replace it right there with -3 minus 2. That's -12 minus 2 is -14. Boom, done. Number 3. For line segment AC shown, the length of line segment BC, this one, we don't need a highlighter, is 2 times the length of segment AB. So BC is 20, this is 10. Which equation represents this situation? So it would be 2x equals 20. D, right? Because x is 10. So which equation represents the situation for line segment AC? I think that's correct. All right, sweet. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I feel like that was too overly simple, but no, it's got to be right, right? For the line segment AC shown, the length of line BC is 2 times the length of AB. Yeah, okay. All right. 4. Oh, wait. Hold on. I don't know why I'm checking myself. All right, 2 people sweep the floor. The table gives the sweeping rates in square yards per minute. Square yards, so 12 yards per minute. And for both. If each person sweeps the floor for 5 minutes, how much greater of an area does Eric sweep than Jeremy? So this is 12 per minute. So in 5 minutes, that's 60. This is 16 per minute. So 5 minutes, that's 5 times 16 is 80. So it's how much more, how much greater, and it would be 20 greater. Let's make sure that's right. How much of a greater area in square yards? Yeah, so no conversion there. Now number 5, which expression is equivalent to this. So all you're going to do is distribute. 3x squared times x to the 4th is 3x to the 6th, add the exponent. Plus 9x times x to the 4th, add the exponent. That's an invisible 1, so it's 9x to the 5th. Minus 8 times x to the 4th, minus 8x to the 4th. And B is the winner. Yes, that's it. Done. All right, number 6. The function f is defined by this. What is the y-intercept of the graph of y equals f in the xy plane? It's defined by this. Got it. Y-intercept is in slope-intercept form, so y-intercept is -4 or 0, -4 is the coordinate. Boom, done. That's it. Y equals mx plus b. The slope is 2. Y-intercept is -4. Okay, number 7. The table summarizes the number of public schools in 2 California counties in 2017. A public middle school will be selected at random from the 2 counties. What is the probability to the nearest 100th of selecting a school in San Diego County? Got it. Probability to the nearest 100th of selecting a school. Wait, hold on one second. A public middle school will be selected at random from the two counties. What is the probability to the nearest 100 of selecting? Okay, so we're in this. So when they say public middle school, that means we're immediately excluding everything else. A public middle school. And they said, what is the probability of selecting a school in San Diego County? So we've got a total of 587 schools, and the probability of getting this is 165 because there's 165 out of 587. Let's go to the calculator. 165 out of 587. Is 0.281, 0.28, boom, done. Number 8, a museum built a scale model of the solar system throughout its city where 1 mile in the model represents the actual distance of 400,000 miles. So 1 mile represents that. 400 million, did I say 1,000? Okay, so we'll say model and real. I assume it's a proportion. The model of the sun is X miles away from the model of the Earth. Which expression represents the actual distance? Okay, so that'd be the real. I got a proportion. Didn't really need to do that because it's pretty obvious what we're going to do, but you now just cross multiply and you get A times 1, which is A, equals 400 million X. So 400 million X is the expression of the actual distance. Does that make sense? Yeah, it makes sense to me. All right, number 9. The list shown gives the heights and inches for the 6 10-year-old children in a group. A 7th child with a height of 60, and it is from least to greatest, will be added to the group. Which of the following correctly describes how the mean and median of the group will change when the 7th child is added? So obviously the mean will go up. Right now, the median is 54. When you add a 7th value, right? When you add a 7th value, because the median is the middle, so there's 2 middle values when there's an even number, and you take the average of those two, it's still 54. Now when there's 60, the median or middle number will be the 4th number, but it's still 54. It means the mean increases and the median stays the same. So nope, nope, yes. Okay, in a certain school district, 36 high school students were selected at random for a study on internet use and offline reading habits. During October, each student reported the average amount of time in the nearest half hour spent reading offline, and Saturdays, the average amount of time in the nearest half hour spent using the internet. The scatter plot shows the times recorded by the student. A line of best fit is shown. Got it. Time spent reading offline on the X, time spent using internet. Okay. The line of best fit underestimates the student's reported average time spent using internet on Saturdays by more than 2 hours. Of one student. Okay, how many hours did the student report reading offline? I remember this question very well because I actually almost got it wrong. And I caught it when I was checking my work. So I'm going to show you what I did. So the one where it underestimates It underestimates, meaning it's the line of best fit is below the actual point by more than 2 hours. And this is for internet, is this guy, okay? Because there's 2 hours, and here's the line of best fit. So that's the only one that is more than 2 hours. So that's the student. Now, what did I answer? I answered 5. They said time spent reading offline. But what did I put in? I put in the amount of hours that they spent using the internet. And guess what? They have 5 right there. But they'd said, for how many hours did the student report reading offline? And the reading offline is the value on the x-axis, which is 1.5. So that was just kind of a funny one that I remember that I luckily caught because I read it more carefully. According to the line of best fit, if a student spends an average of 1.2, and now this is the line of best fit, not the data points. If they spent 1.25 reading offline, let's just mark that. 1.25 reading offline, it's in between those two. Which of the following is the best estimate of the time student would expect to spend using internet? Okay, so we're looking at the y value, so we're going to take it straight up to the line of best fit. So I'm going to say 2.75. It looks like right in the center. So between, yeah, so we'll say 2.75. Let's say between 2.5 and 3. Boom, nailed it. All right. 12, line K is defined by y equals negative x plus 5. Line J is parallel to K on the xy plane. So line J is parallel, so it's going to also have a slope of negative 1. Oh, it's negative 1. That's it. Yeah, so y equals mx plus b. This is the y-intercept. This is the slope. And I know you might be like, oh, it's just a negative. But it is an invisible 1 there, so it's a negative 1. So parallel is going to have the same slope, negative 1. Boom, done. 13. For a survey, students were assigned to either group R or V. Combine the students in both groups answered a total of 17 questions. Of these, a total of 9 were answered by the students in group V. So V answered 9. Total of 9 questions were answered by the group. So what does that mean? 8 here? So the equation 4r plus 9 equals 17 describes this situation. So what, r is 2? What is the number of questions answered by each student in group R? Which of the following is the best interpretation of 4r? So 4r is it's the 8. It's the total amount of questions answered in group R. So, okay, the total number of questions. That's it. C. Because R is the number per question, so there's obviously must be 4 people in group R. Everybody answered 2 questions. It's 8. So that's it. For how many solutions does the equation have? Okay, well, or how many solutions? So it's 5x plus 5 equals 5x plus 5. This is the same thing on both sides. That means there's infinite solutions because you can plug in anything for x and it will be true. 15, average amount of money. The table below shows a result of a survey on the average amount of money D in dollars consumers would be willing to spend on a product in their corresponding age in years. Which equation could represent this linear relationship? All right. So it's going down by 6 while it's going up by 3. So it's a slope of negative 2. And these are all equations where this value would be the slope. And I only see one with negative 2. So it's got to be this. We can check it, though, now. Plug in a couple values. So if I plug in 25, it'd be negative 50 plus 92 is 42. Plug in 28, that's negative 56 plus 92 would be 36. I mean, pretty much 2 values confirmed, you're good to go. Let's do 42 for fun. That'd be negative 84 plus 92 is indeed 8. If x is the solution to the given equation, what is the value of x plus 1? So they don't want you to solve for x. They want you to solve for x plus 1. So I am not going to solve for x and then add 1 because I might forget. And I bet you your answer is 4. I can just already tell because 3 might be x, and then you know what I'm saying? It's probably 4, but I'm just going to change x plus 1 to y, much easier. All right, subtract 2y from both sides. You get 2y equals 6. Yep. And then divide by 2, y equals 3. So, oh no, I had it backwards. I thought the answer would be C, but because x is actually 2 then. Let's just double check just for fun. So x is 2, that's 2 plus 1 is 3, times 4 is 12. X is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, times 2 is 6, plus 6 is 12. So yeah, x itself is 2, but x plus 1 is 3. And luckily they didn't have 2, so even if you made that mistake, you probably catch it. The initial number of bacteria in a population is 10,000. The bacteria in the population are observed to double in number every 12 hours. So if there's 10, then 12, it should be 20. This already looks correct. This graph represents the number in thousands of X hours after initial observation. Well, and this is in thousands, so that looks like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So initial value of 10 is correct. That's the correct initial value. Oh, they all have the correct initial value. All right. And then in 24 hours, it should be 40,000. Again, this one's probably right because here it's doubling, then it's doubling again, right? Because the reason why 24 it's 40 is because after 12, it's 20. And then the 20 doubles after another 12 hours to 40. 24 would be 30, that's wrong. 24 would be 20, that's wrong. 24, that doesn't even make sense. So A is the winner. Box and whisker plots. The box plot shows summarized data in each 4 sets, which the 4 data sets has a range of 6. So range is from here to here. It's not C, it's too big. It's D. That's a range of 6. This is a range of 3 to 13, which is 10. And this is a range of 2, it looks like 2, 6, which is 4. 19. Oh, 19. A forest contains different species of trees. Let T represent the total number of trees in the forest. Let 8 represent the number of hickory trees, and K represent the number of oak trees. If a tree is selected at random from the forest, which expression represents the probability of selecting a tree that is neither hickory nor oak? Okay. So we're out of the total, and they're all out of T. What's the probability that it's neither hickory nor oak? So we want the non-hickory or oak tree. So we take the total and we'd subtract both the hickory and the oak trees. And this would be all the other trees out of the total. T minus H minus K, so it's B. 20. The XY plane quadrants are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. The graph of Y equals negative X plus H squared plus K, where H and K are positive constants of parabola. In which quadrant is the vertex of this parabola? Positive content. So H and K are positive. So if H is positive, and this is X plus H squared, you know, normally H minus H squared would mean the X value of the vertex is positive. So the vertex is actually negative, and it says K is positive. So that means my vertex is up here. And then because it's negative in front, it's going down. And then, the vertex is in quadrant 2. That's all it's asking. Just make sure. I mean, this graphing calculator, you could actually graph it. You could be like negative X plus 2 plus 7 or something, and you could see. But like I said, if you know the vertex parabola formula, you're good. Choosing numbers will be good, though, there. At the beginning of the day, there were 500 items for sale in a store. The number of items for sale at the end of the day was R% less than the number at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day. Got it. So it was R% less. So now if we start at 100 and we take away that R, that's the percentage we have left at the end of the day. And it's of 500, but then to turn this, but to actually calculate it, we have to turn it back into either fraction or decimal equivalent, right? We can't just you don't multiply, if you're taking 10% of something, you don't multiply by 10, you multiply by 0.1. So to turn this back into its decimal equivalent, you divide it by 100, and then you multiply this by 500. So 100 minus R over 100. What's the difference between A and B? 100 minus R. Wait. Am I missing something here? This has to be a mistake. They look the exact same. They are the exact same. Okay. Well, it's this. I guess I'm just going to, I don't know. I think in this version or something, it's not right. One of them should be a different answer. So I'm just going to kind of leave it like this, and we'll move on. The area in square inches of a certain right triangle is given by the equation blah, 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 where B is the length in inches of one of the legs of the triangle. Let's draw this out. So B is one, so it's 1/2 base times height. Let's draw it the other way so it looks more right, because this is a longer height, right? So 1/2 base, and then I guess they're saying the height is 2b, and this would be the right angle. Which expression represents the length in inches of the shortest leg? It's this guy, B. Right there, we're already done, right? 23. A scientist took 94 ice core sections from a glacier. Each section was in the shape of a right circular cylinder. See how I'm immediately drawing a cylinder. Don't even waste any time thinking about it. And a length of 1 meter. I think when they say length, they mean height. Diameter of 0.1, which means the radius is 0.05. Half of the diameter. Which of the following is close to the total volume of the 94 sections? So the volume of 1 is pi r squared times height, which is 1. And the radius is 0.05, so pi times 0.05 squared times 1. So pi squared. So that's one of them. And then to get the 94 sections, we multiply this by 94, and we get 0.7 approximately. That makes sense, right? 0.05, 0.1. I'm just trying to estimate if I had to 0.05 by 0.05 as like a cube equivalent. Yeah, it's pretty small. And then, oh, but it's tall. 0.05 and 0.05, 0.0025, and then times 1. Yeah, okay, this feels pretty right. So the ones are way too big. 24. In the figure given, GE and DH intersect at point F. Which of the following additional statements is true to prove that DEF, this guy, is similar to HGF? So right off the bat, since the way they're drawn, we know that these two sides are vertical angles. So to get similarity, we just need one more angle to get angle similarity. And the length of DE is 1/3 EH. So, or HG. If we know a proportionate relationship, that's fine. But that's only one side. The theorems for similarity would be like side, angle, side. So we need two sides proportionate and an equal angle in between. So this is not good enough. DE is parallel to HG. That is great. And the reason why is because when we have two parallel lines, you got to know these rules. The alternate interior angles along the transversals are equal, which means we have our two angles that are congruent, angle, similarity. So D is good, 1 is not. 2 is sufficient, but 1 is not. All right, 24. We got that right? Okay. 25. The scatter plot shows the relationship between two variables, x and y, line of best fit for the data is also shown. Which data point has an actual y value that is 2 more than the y value predicted by the line of best fit? So just make sure you remember, this is not going up by 1, it's going up by 2, right? So that's 6 right there. That goes up by 2. So which one is just basically one spot above? It's this guy. Right? Because here it's at 28, and then here it's at 30. So which point has an actual that is 2 more? So it's for the corresponding x value. So it is 5, 30. (26) A plant's height is 1.25 times its height from last week. So we'll say last week like this. What is the percentage increase in the plant's height from last week? So it's 25%, right? Because it said the percentage increase. So if it's 1.25, so you imagine it's like this. Let's say last week it was 100. This week it's 125. So what's the increase? It's 25. What's that as a percentage? It's 25%. It is 125% of the previous week, but that's not what it's asking. It's asking what's the increase. 27. In a forest, white pine trees between 15 and 45 years grew to 36 and 48 in height each year. Okay. A 15-year-old white pine tree in the forest was 240 inches tall. So 50. Which of the following inequalities gives all possible values for the tree's height in inches at the end of its 45th year? Oh, get it. Okay. So right now it's at 240. So it could go up 48 times 30, right? That's the max. It could go up 48 times 30. And then it could only go up as well by 36 times 30. Because it's already 15 years, so we're talking about another 30 years. So I think that's 1,080, but I'm going to do the math here. 36. So 1,080 is 1,320. So at the low end, it would be tree's height. Yeah, it'd be 1,320. It's only one. And then at the high end, it would be 1,680. And D is it. 28 P percent. Okay, watch this. P, I'm going to turn it into an equation as I'm reading it. P percent of, that's multiply X, is 3. Don't have to think too much now. Want to represent X in terms of P, meaning isolate X. Multiply both sides by 100. Notice they left it with the 100, so don't actually combine it. So it's Px equals 3 times 100. And then we divide by P. And it's 3 times 100 over P. Done. 29. Which of the following equivalent forms of the given function f displays as the base of the coefficient the y-coordinate of the y-intercept of the graph in the xy plane? Okay. So what is the y-coordinate of the y-intercept? Well, the y-intercept occurs when x is 0. So I'm going to plug 0 in and figure that out. So it's 3 to the negative 2 times 0 plus 1, which is 1. So it's 3 to the negative 2, which is 1 over 3 squared hybrid exponent problem. So it's 1/9. So we need to see a 1/9 in the correct answer, and that's it. Pretty much that simple. The other way to think about this is you can rewrite this as 3 to the negative 2 times 3 to the x plus 1. And then this is the 1/9 that comes out front. So we know it's Wait a minute. Something's funny here. It should be, oh, what am I doing? No, what am I doing? I totally did that wrong. Sorry. You have to distribute this. Sorry. I'm thinking that's, you add the exponents, you don't multiply, so you distribute this. So it's 3 to the negative 2x plus 3 to the negative 2. I'm sorry, times 3 to the negative 2, because that's how you'd add the exponents. So then this comes, and then this one comes out front, and it's 3 to the negative 2x, or sorry, and then 3 to the negative 2, 3 to the negative 2. And then that becomes 1 over 3 squared, which is 1/9 times, and then when they flip that to a positive exponent by flipping this into 1/3 to the 2x. So it's correct. But anyways, I mean, pretty much with the 1/9, we knew it was correct regardless. 30. Two different store owners in a shopping center are estimated. The percentage of all visitors who wear eyeglasses. They each selected a random sample of the shopping center visitors, recorded whether the visitors were wearing glasses. The results are shown. Whoops. If the associated margin of error was calculated the same way for both samples, which of the following is the most likely reason that the result for sample A has a larger margin of error? Okay. I don't remember this question. Strange. I don't remember it on the test. Anyways. Do we have a larger margin of error? I think it's just basically going to have to do with the sample size. This doesn't matter whether the percentages of who are wearing. It's going to be like basically, if you have a smaller sample, you're going to have a larger margin of error. A larger sample, you'll have a smaller margin of error. So you think about it like this. Let's say you sampled everybody in the world, the biggest sample size possible. You would have no margin of error because you sampled everybody. Say you do half of that, then it's like a little bit more because now there's people you didn't survey. So it could be some potential for mistakes. So that means sample B probably had more visitors than sample A. That's it. Let me just make sure I'm thinking through. Sample B has more visitors. Yeah. Okay, number 431. Limestone stalactite grew in length at a rate of 1/8 millimeter per year. At this rate, how many years would it take for this stalactite to grow a total of 4 millimeters? So 1/8 per year times times y equals 4. Multiplied by the reciprocal, which is 8, which is 32. So it would take 32 years. That makes sense. 8 years, it would take 1 millimeter. 16, 2, 24, 3, 32, 4. 32. The solution to the given system of equations is xy. What is the value of 2x? All right. Look how nice this is. Just add these two together. We get 2x. The y's cancel out, equals 14. And then because 10 plus 4 is 14, x equals 7. 2x would be 14. Boom, done. And this is an interesting one. You got to be careful not to answer the value of x. So that's why you should underline it. I should have underlined it. 33. What is the value of x minus 3? Again, I don't want to solve for x, and I got x minus 3 under there, so I'm going to substitute for y and solve for y. Easier. 3 times square root of y plus 10 equals 22. Subtract 10 from both sides. 3 square root of y equals 22 minus 10 is 12. Divided by 3. Oops. Square root of y equals 4. Square both sides. Y equals 16. And that's x minus 3. Now plug it back in. 16 replaces this. Square root of 16 is 4 times 3 is 12 plus 10 is 22. Average speed, number of laps. The table gives the average speed s in miles per hour of each lap around the track for one racing team. For how many laps was the average speed greater than or equal to 150? Hold on. Okay. Greater than or equal to 150. So here's 150, 155, so it's all of these, right? How many laps was the average speed greater than or equal to? Like, am I oversimplifying this? Okay, 57 plus 52 plus 35. 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 11. So 144. How many laps was the average speed greater than or equal to 150? Yeah. That is it. All right, 35. Here we go. Adita and Bella each attempted the long jump 5 times during a track meet, and their distances are shown in the table. The mean distance for Bella's attempts was 0.3 greater than the mean for Aditi's. What is the value of x? Mean for Adita. So I guess we have to calculate the mean. So we're going to add all these up. So 4.2 plus 3.8 is 8. Plus 3.2 is 11.2. Plus 4 is 15.2. Use a calculator if you're not as comfortable with the mental math. Plus 4.3 is 19.5. Divided by 5 is, I think it's 30. Let's do it. 3.9 something. 19.5. Oh, just 3.9. Okay, so that's hers. And then the mean for Bella's, so Bella's mean is 4.2. So x plus all of this, x plus this would be 8.1, 11.9, 15.9, 16.5 equals 4.2. 5 times 4.2 is 21. 16.5 is 4.5. I do remember this one a little bit. That number, 4.5. 36, what is the x-coordinate of the x-intercept of the line with equation blank? Okay, this is nice. If we're trying to find the x-intercept, you imagine a graph. Here's the x-intercept. It's when y equals 0, so plug 0 in for y. That zeroes this out. And then we get 5/4 x equals 1. Multiply both sides by 4/5. X equals, that's not 1 4/5, that's times 4/5. Done. Let's make sure that's visible. 37, what is the perimeter of an equilateral triangle? I'm going to use my triangle tool. With a height of 5 rad 3. So here's the thing to note about this. If you get a height of an equilateral triangle, it makes a 30, because this is 60 and it's cutting it directly in half, 60, 90. Well, if you remember my rules with 30, 60, 90, if the long leg is something rad 3, the short leg here is just that thing without the rad 3. So the short leg is 5. Well, it's cut right in half, so this is 5. And it's an equilateral triangle, which means all the sides are equal. So if this side is 10, this side is 10, this side is 10, the perimeter is 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is 30. And 38 in the system of equations above shown. A is a positive constant. For which value of A does the system have exactly one distinct real solution? All right. So check this out. I'm going to set these equal to each other to find, first of all, the intersection. So I got -3 in for y. -3 equals x squared plus 10x plus a. Then I'm going to add 3 to both sides. 0 equals x squared plus 10x plus a plus 3. Now, the important thing here is they said one distinct real solution. I got a quadratic now that represents where these intersect. If I want one real distinct solution, that means I want the discriminant, meaning the value under the square root of the quadratic formula, to equal 0. So what is the discriminant? It's b squared minus 4ac, where this is a, that's the 1 in front, b, and this whole thing is c actually because they're both constants. So we want this to equal 0. So b squared is 10 squared, which is 100, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is a plus 3, to equal 0. So we have 100 minus, distribute the 4, boom, boom, because the 1's whatever, minus 4a minus 12 equals 0. Then I add 12 and I subtract 100, so I get -4a equals -88, right? Because 100 minus 12 is 88, then you bring it over, it's -88. Divide by -4, divide by -4, and I get a equals 22 for the win. Boom, did it. Okay, that is quite a bit of extra time. We're going to go ahead and stop, and we're going to go ahead and grade, and then we're going to talk about it. Let's get the red pen of justice out here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. We've got B, D, D, A. B, D, D, A. We got 5 is B, D, C, A. B, D, C, A. We've got 9, which is C, B, C, A. C, B, C, A. We've got 13, which is C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B. We've got 17, which is A, D, B, B. B. Then we got the weird 21. I knew it was one of them, but I think they made a mistake, right? Because literally, look, they're the exact same. So I'm just gonna mark it right because I think B was supposed to be a different option, but. Yeah, so, I mean, I knew it was this. It was just like, what's going on? Okay, so that's A, 22 is B, D, B. Maybe I can even load up the online portal and we can see what the real answer choice was for B. 25 is D, 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 C. D, 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 C, yes. And 29 and 30 is B and B. Good. Thirty-two, 14, 16, 32, 14, 16. 144 is correct. 4.5 is correct. 4/5 is correct, or the decimal equivalent. And then we got 30, and for the win, 22. Very nice, very nice. All right. Okay. Just want to know the help you do is amazing. You're very welcome, man. Hey, congrats on that 800. What did I get? At my school administered. Free one I got to take. Hey, you're very welcome. Can you resolve 35? Wait, hold on. That's awesome, Sharia. That's a great score. Okay. All right. We are pretty much good. This account goated. Hey, man, thank you. All right, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please click that like button. If you want to see more from the Scalar Learning channel, make sure to click subscribe. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for joining. I wish you all the best of luck. Check us out if you're interested in tutoring. For tutoring, hit up tutoring@scalarlearning.com. If you want to check out our amazing video course, hit the description link below. It's all in there. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.